Hello everybody, and welcome back to another World of Tanks video. Today we are taking a look at a replay sent in by DuckNL, who is once again in his Black Prince. Now, he's on a very nice matchup on El Haloof. The majority of both teams are tier 6 and lower. But also, the Black Prince is of course very heavily armored, so it generally profits from being top tier, which is definitely the case here. One thing that is a bit iffy is that for some reason the matchmaker decided that today was the day that DuckNL was going to play with one less tier 7 on his team than all the other enemy players had. I mean, look at this. His team has 5 tier 7s, their team has 6 tier 7s. Now I understand matchmaking isn't always easy, but is it really that difficult to at least get the same amount of tiers, top tier tanks on both teams? Anyway, I'll leave that particular thing for Wargaming to fix, but DuckNL is slowly, and with the emphasis on slowly, making his way to the A1 sort of area. Now you're not going to go anywhere fast in the Black Prince. As you can see, it's currently going 21 kilometers per hour. That's about 1 kilometers per hour faster than you would normally expect him to go. Now this Oni was going to take a shot and pull back immediately. Unfortunately, DuckNL decided to move behind him just when he decided to do that. But to be honest, the Oni doesn't really have anything to fear at that kind of range. The only thing he has to fear is artillery, and well, let's be frank, it doesn't really make that much of a difference at this point. Gets a bit unlucky with his first shot on the T-34-85, second shot hits, and the third shot is never going to hit because he's behind a rock now. He spots the OI on the enemy team. This is a very difficult tank to pen from the front if you've got it at point blank range. At this kind of range he's never ever going to penetrate it. So yeah, it's probably a bit of a wasted effort to shoot at this tank. But he decides to take a few more pot shots. The side of the OI is where the damage is at. Now, in order to pen this OI, DuckNL decides to load a little bit of APCR. The side of the OI, you really don't need it. I believe that a KV2 could pen the side of an OI if it gets a high roll on the pen, but I'm not entirely certain. So the side of the tank is where you do the damage. Gets a bit of damage. I think it's actually from the M44. The SU-14-1 would have done a great deal more damage, so it's quite wise of DuckNL to keep on moving. But for some reason this is the last time the artillery decides to fire on him in this particular occasion. Now that shot flew low into the left and took off one of his tracks, but their allies was able to finish him off, the artillery on his team. And now we find a bit of an awkward situation, so to say. Though DuckNL stopped to take shots at the OI that was moving towards the cap circle, his allies did not, and his enemies most definitely also did not. And what happened is his mediums, who moved forwards, suddenly faced tier 7 heavy tanks. And there were no tier 7 heavy tanks of their own to help him out. So I suppose when the enemy mediums or the allied mediums noticed that there wasn't any heavy support, they should have held back a little bit instead of pushing forwards the way they did. But part of the blame, I suppose, is also a bit on DuckNL here for staying around as long as he did for this OI. Though I must admit, it was a target that needed to die. So it's a bit of a questionable decision that DuckNL made to stick around and kill this OI. But all in all, not much we can do about it now, and he decides to wait for this T-29 to make a mistake. He has got the premium loaded, which is understandable because the T-29 is one of the most powerful tier 7, or is the most powerful tier 7 tank in the game. I don't think this is much of a discussion anymore. T-29 is incredibly powerful for its tier. Decides to load normal AP again and moves forwards. To make his way finally towards the A1 area. There's an AMX ELC who made his way into the cap, but this is in counter, so this will take a very long time for this ELC to actually cap out. So DuckNL has time to clean up here. Now, I think DuckNL makes not a little mistake here that will come to cost him quite a bit. Now first off, great target selection, T-29 almost dead. Then he sees the Comet and decides to fire a few shells at the Comet. I think he would have been better off to finish off the T-29, even if it meant taking a few free shots from the Comet, and then just fall back and deal with the Comet. And we're going to see why this is relevant in a bit. But first and foremost, of course, the T-29 only has 13 health left. He would have been easily able to finish him off when he was still making his way around the corner. And there the Comet dies. As we can see there, our artillery was actually focusing in on that area. So even if DuckNL would have taken the time to finish off the T-29, it probably wouldn't have been that big of an issue. And now I'm going to stop this a little bit, because we're going to see where DuckNL got hit. Now this looks a bit strange, but where he in fact got hit was right in front at this track. Now any other tank, that shot would have just gotten absorbed. It would have shot the tracks off, but it would have gotten absorbed nonetheless. Because this is the Black Prince, it actually does damage. Now the reason that is because the hitbox actually continues underneath the track. So normally there's no hitbox behind the track, or when it does, it's extremely angled. So if we were to have if you were to fire here, the first time it would find anything solid would be the plate, like when the track would end, so to say. So this is the width of the tank, and then here the hull would start. With the Black Prince, the hull actually extends underneath the track. So if you fire here, you fire into the tank and you do damage. This is something unique to the Black Prince. I think maybe a few other British heavy tanks as well. I'm not entirely certain, but yeah, this is one way how you can actually pen the Black Prince reliably from the front. Something quite new I learned, and I thought maybe the viewers would find this knowledge useful to know. But that is how the T-29 just penned DuckNL's tank there. Any other tank, it wouldn't have done anything, but this is the Black Prince, so it does get damaged there. Now he doesn't really see anything on the other flank where he can help in anything immediate. He needs to finish off this T-29 before he can do anything useful against any other tank here. Now he finally gets a little bit lucky with the penetration on the side. T-29 angles just a tiny bit too much, and the Black Prince's gun is able to butter through the side armor. 170 pen, I think he actually got a bit lucky there, a bit of a high roll on the pen, I'm not entirely certain. Anyway, this Oni is dealing with the Oni on the enemy team, and DuckNL is making his way around to finish him off. Their Oni is currently still alive, he's on very low health. It's unfortunate he still caught one artillery shell just before that other Oni died, but not really much they can do about it now. DuckNL is going to go forwards, and he's going to try and reset this AMX ELC. The 88 on his team is also trying to do this, and if I'm not mistaken, the Oni is actually in position to support him. So there's 3 tanks currently heading straight towards this poor tier 5 light tank. But yeah, DuckNL was able to put a very nice shot into the rear of this ELC AMX. And I think it's the Oni that actually gets the kill. No, it was the artillery. The GW Panther, that's overkill with the capital O there. I think that thing can do over 1000 alpha, and he just did 100 damage to a tier 5 light tank. So I kind of feel sorry for the little bastard, but you know, he's dead. Type 95 gets taken out by Bertie Avenger, also known as the FV304. This leaves the IS and the artillery to deal with. Now the artillery is most likely at approximately K4, they usually are. And the IS was also spotted in that general direction last time, and considering that he's not the greatest player in the world, it's not inconceivable that the IS is still in the exact same position he was when he was spotted last. But until we... yeah, so DuckNL here decides to head that direction, I presume for that exact reason. To find the RT and to find the IS. But the IS gets spotted long before they actually make it towards the presumed artillery location. We do spot one other artillery, but the IS currently takes priority. as DuckNL is currently the only heavy tank left on his team. He needs to face this IS. There's also an 88 of course, but he's on very low health indeed. And this IS needs to die before he can finish off his friend. And now they've got a crossfire going, it's quite conceivable they can finish him off. Unfortunately, the IS is able to hit the 88 while he's on the move, and the 88 is actually in a hull down position. Now, DuckNL is in a lot of trouble here, because if this IS pens, he's dead. So, another shot, and one more shot is necessary, and... Oh, the IS is actually firing a high explosive. He probably still had it loaded from the 88, and... Oh, the artillery finishes off DuckNL's rampage here. But his death was not in vain, because Bert the Avenger was paying attention and this M44 is now reloading. Bert finishes him off and decides to head towards the cap circle, and I'll speed the replay up a little bit here for you, because this is going to take a while. There we go. Quick little bugger that he is. Makes his way up into the cap circle. I really like his positioning here. Not only can he get the most view range, but the chance of actually getting hit at that position is rather low, because he's right on top of something, so hitting the ground next to him will be very difficult. And now, yeah, actually spot the last artillery piece, and it's just a matter of time before they actually get taken out. Bert shoots once and misses, but does 100 damage. And Bert shoots twice. I know he does it once too. And there goes the final artillery piece, and that was the end of this replay. Game stats, we can see that this was a defender medal for him damaging that AMX ELC before he actually got taken out by artillery. And he also got a high caliber, so apparently he did the most damage of any tank on both teams. We can also see he had a very nice WN8 rating for this match. 7.7 thousand is well within the ace tanker regions for the Black Prince. So congrats DuckNL on the ace tanker. And we can see he came on top on damage done and experience earned. In the detailed report, we can see he also still blocked 1,500 damage with his armor, and he was also able to do slightly over 850 spotting and assistance damage. I think most of the spotting damage was the comment that got annihilated by artillery, but yeah, I'm not entirely certain. I could check here, of course. Yeah, the comment was almost 500 spotting damage for him, so that would be the spotting damage, and some change here and there. But all in all, this was a very nice match for the Black Prince. Also, moving 2 kilometers in the tank as slow as the Black Prince is a challenge on its own during a normal match. So that's quite the accomplishment. Even though he actually fired a fair few APCR rounds this match, he was also still able to make a profit. So that shows you that even though he used a little bit of APCR because he used it sparingly and well, with good reason, the OI in the T29, he was able to still make a profit here. And he's not actually running a premium account, so even with a premium account this would have been a very decent amount of profit considering the APCR usage. But all in all, got a bit unlucky at the end that the artillery was able to shut him down. It was actually almost the only damage that tank did the entire match. He was able to finish off DuckNL and did a little bit more damage to one other target, and that's it. So yeah, congratulations on the nice match, DuckNL. Thank you for sending it in, and for everybody watching, thank you for watching, and I'll see you the next time.